Today, we're diving into what might just be the greatest rescue mission of all time. It's an incredible story about a plan that came from a love so big, it decided to save a world that was completely broken. It's a huge question, right? I mean, pretty much everyone has asked it at some point. The story we're looking at today actually gives us an answer. It explains not just why there's so much pain in our world, but how this amazing rescue plan was put into motion to fix everything. All right, so let's get into it. To really understand the rescue, we have to go all the way back to the beginning and see how it all went wrong. It started in a world that was, believe it or not, absolutely perfect. But then, one choice, just one, changed everything, forever. Just try to picture it. A world with zero sadness, zero fear, and no one ever got sick or died. A world where people could literally walk and talk with God like he was their best friend. That's really how it was. It was a perfect, happy place, filled with peace. But that perfect friendship, it was broken by something the Bible calls sin. Now, don't just think of it as breaking a rule. It's so much deeper. It was like breaking a relationship, a bond that was built on total love and trust. And that one choice, it let sadness and a painful separation into the world for the very first time. And wow, this slide really shows you what a devastating trade-off that was. In just a moment, humanity went from having a close friendship with God to being separated from him. All that joy and peace got swapped for sorrow and misery, and the gift of living forever was gone, replaced by the curse of death. The world was officially broken. And get this heartbreak wasn't just a problem on Earth. Imagine a place of constant joy suddenly falling completely silent. The story says that all of heaven was filled with sorrow. The angels, who were always singing, actually stopped. They were mourning for this beautiful world that had just been ruined. So, you've got this lost world, humanity is in big trouble, but heaven didn't just give up. Not even close. Instead, a rescue plan was put together, an amazing plan to fix the broken relationship and save every single person. But there was a huge problem. See, breaking God's law of love had a very high price. Justice meant that a life had to be given to pay for the choice that brought death into the world. But whose life was valuable enough to pay for everybody? Not even an angel's life was enough. In the entire universe, there was only one person who could pay that debt. And this right here, this is the heart of the whole plan. The reason for all of this wasn't anger. It was love. A love so incredibly huge, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around it. A love for a world that had turned its back on him. A love so powerful that God was willing to give his own son to save it. So, how is this all going to work? Well, this slide lays out the whole strategy, this incredible 4-step mission. First, the hero, Jesus, had to become a human being. Then, he had to live a life with zero mistakes, a perfect life. Third, he had to pay the price for everyone's sin. And finally, he had to beat death itself. It was a mission that only he could ever pull off. But pulling this off required a sacrifice that was just unimaginable. To get this rescue mission started, the Son of God himself had to give up everything. And it was a choice that was almost too painful for even the angels to watch. Just think about that for a second. The personal cost. Jesus, who lived in the absolute perfection and happiness of heaven, willingly said, "Okay, I'll go." He chose to leave all of that behind and enter our messy, painful world to carry out this mission. He left behind the pureness of heaven, the total peace, the incredible joy. He stepped away from all of his glory and his unending life with his Father to come here, to feel our world's sorrow and its shame, and in the end, its death. But why? Why did he have to become human? Well, it was so he could truly understand our struggles. He had to face the same temptations we do, feel the same sadness we do, so that he could stand in our place and take the punishment that we all deserved. So when Jesus was on the cross, his last words weren't a cry of defeat. No way. They were a shout of victory. And the story says that this triumphant shout echoed all the way through the universe and into heaven. The mission was done. The debt was paid. For good. And that victory on the cross wasn't just the end of the mission. It was actually the start of a brand new chapter. It was the moment the plan to bring back a perfect world was locked in, totally secured. Jesus' victory kicked off this great reversal, basically hitting the undo button on all the damage that was done at the beginning. You can see it right here. Where humanity lost its place as caretakers of the earth, Jesus restored the kingdom. The perfect world that was lost, well, that's now the promise of a new earth. And that broken friendship with God, Jesus built a bridge back, creating a path so anyone can be friends with God again. And this is the amazing future that the rescue mission made possible. A world that's completely new, with no more sin, no more sadness. A place with no more pain, no more curse, and no more death. A forever home where everyone who accepts this rescue gets to live in perfect peace with God and Jesus. So after walking through this incredible story of love and sacrifice, we're left with this one final thought. This rescue mission was big enough for the entire universe, but the invitation, it's completely personal. It wasn't just a plan for the world, it was a plan for you. And the real question this whole story leaves us with is this: what does a love this big actually mean for you?